Hello, everybody. My name is Akita Akari Aurora, and I am finally going to do this RUMI roundtable. It's happening. Today is June 20th, the day before the summer solstice. And maybe that's why I was guided to, you know what? Let's send messages out straight from the divine heart and or divine heart messages from Rumi. Let's send them out straight to your heart so we can all walk into this second half of 2022 with our hearts full. And if they're not full, maybe the cards will give us the message that we need to release some stuff from our hearts and allow us to receive whatever it is that we need to receive so that we can really tap into the fullness and the love and the beauty that we are. Okay, so I started this about, I think, 10 days ago, and I kept on having to put it off. But I do trust the delays in my life. So I know that when things are supposed to happen, they happen. And even though I come up with ideas, sometimes it's not the divine time for it to be done. But when I do it, I do know that it's the right time. So today's the day, and you guys will receive these messages either tonight or right before or on the solstice. So we'll just see, let it flow and see how it goes. All right. So I already gave the collective message, and that was, just in case you haven't seen it, go to the video, check it out. But the collective message was to drink from the wine, to receive the wine, the sweetness of life, and not to be so scheduled, right? And go with the flow. And allow that. And that's, I guess it's literally what I had to do with this reading. Bump the schedule and just let it come out and give it when it was the time to do it. And that is today. And then it was Etra Ente, right? And her message, I can't remember. Her message was, I think, I can't remember. But anyway, go to the video, check it out. Let's move on. Stay in the present. All right, here it is. Yeah, both of them right here. Was to embrace self-care. Yay. Well, that I do know well how to do. Okay, so let's go on. Let's see the first message out for Aries. What card is this? Right, Uzza, the star of Venus. And we're going to go around the circle. So you're looking at the split screen. We are going from the upper center and we're going clockwise around the RUMI round table. So the first one out, and they have been sitting under crystals, and I think I changed some of the crystals, but this was under the rose quartz. So that was quite fitting for Uzza of Venus. And I think Venus and Mars are doing something right now, or so that's also very synchronistic, Venus and Mars. And Venus is also at our sacral chakra right now, just because it's that Venus energy card. So let's see what messages, and it's number 26. So some for you Aries, maybe you are 26 years old, or 26 might have a reference for you or resonance, as well as the 26th of June, or the number 8, which I think is Venus's number as well, the number 8. Yeah. Yep. 8-pointed star. Yep. That's Venus. So yeah, a lot of synchronicity there, right? All right, number 26. And these RUMI messages are long, so bear with me, get comfortable. And I'm reading these straight from the book because the message is very deep, and I just want to give the message to you. Al-Uzza, star of Venus, I am the pure light. My son, I am not a handful of worthless dust. I am not just an empty shell. I am a regal pearl formed in this world. Clear your eyes to see and become aware of me. Perceive me with eyes that see the unseen. Come into the mystery to find me. I am a carefree visitor here for you. Rumi. The message is, my beautiful one, born of pure radiance, you have love in your heart and a passion for play that cannot be dulled by bleakness, boredom, or fear. Your soul is sensual and dances with life, with utter abandonment and devotion. Though the ways of this world seem strange to you at times, you eventually declare it to be nothing but strange beauty and expand your heart, resisting nothing to allow all to be bathed in the radiance of your being. You are here to share the light of another world, a blessed world of consciousness, pure and divinity, so absolute that it transcends duality and instead brings all into the oneness of the greatest love. The star of Venus is the great androgyne, neither solely masculine nor feminine, but an integration of both. The power it bestows is mighty and based utterly in love. When this star seeks us out, multiple blessings are bestowed, and our spiritual growth can be accelerated in ways that may be quite dazzling and surprising to our more limited mindset and belief systems. With great blessings, growth is possible. With great blessings, great growth is possible. However, the blessings don't do the growth for us, making it magically happen. They give us the oomph we need, the power and the opportunities and assistance we need, yet it is still we who take the journey. The great spiritual journey for all souls at this time in Earth's history is the journey from duality to oneness. Many are signing up for that wild, loving adventure. This oracle has come to you as a reminder that you too have been granted a ticket for that journey. The journey of oneness is not about denying duality, but about experiencing it as an expression of one love. It is about no longer being enslaved by it. It is about avoiding what is not wanted in order to pursue what is wanted. It is about embracing the all of finding the freedom and joy originally sought, but now through a path that takes you into joy and freedom existing within. To take the great transformation from man or woman into cosmic androgyne does not require that we lose our sense of femininity or masculinity. Rather, they become so superior in development that they cease to be distinguished from each other. Our masculinity, our masculine clarity, with its discernment, practicality, and application, becomes so tender, loving, compassionate, and tempered with grace that the feminine is integrated with it. Our feminine nurturance, dedication, and connection to life become so fierce that discernment and wise action naturally prevail. With this great androgynous integration of the masculine and the feminine into oneness, men and women of this beautiful earth become capable of a new consciousness. It is one based in love, of service to life, of letting go of judgment, stereotypes, and limited beliefs, and of opening up to compassion for all. As the consciousness is anchored, spiritual growth becomes rapid. This is not necessarily without some bumps and bruises. Letting go of all notions of what it is to be a man or a woman, to be masculine or feminine, letting go of fear of women or men, or emasculation or victimization, letting go of wounding are all great steps forward. They promise liberation, empowerment, and compassion, as well as peace and happiness, yet they are not easy to take. Great resistance can be evoked within. you as an individual, and also within the culture around you, which might find your notion of personal spiritual empowerment confronting and challenging to their culture of fear-based enslavement of the soul. They will be right about it being confronting, but mistaken in assuming that confrontation is something best resisted. That's very interesting. So then, what to do? Al-Uzza, the ancient shining one, also known as the star of Venus, holds much power and strength. Even a small blessing of her light is more powerful than the fear of thousands, if not millions, of people. She is known as a worthy ally in battle of any kind, even spiritual battles. She is known as a worthy ally. You must, however, stay aligned with her way, which is not to fight fair with fair, hate with hate, or anger with anger. Does this mean you should not feel fear or hate or anger? Of course not. Venus denies no experience. So let yourself feel whatever you feel. The guidance is not to stop being human. Take the next step into the divine human, into allowing the star blessing to nestle in your heart so you can shift as you feel the feelings, holding them with compassion, then choosing your own truths that resonate at a far more refined vibration. The rebellious passion of the star of Venus is that she seeks out whomever is ready to know more fully the truth of the divine oneness. Whether the culture around them can acknowledge one of their own, becoming more enlightened as a blessing or not, it is a divine gift nevertheless. How liberating it shall feel to be truly empowered to live life as you feel is truthful, and to feel completely empowered to allow others to do the same. With joy in your heart, you understand that everyone is walking an unfolding path, and that we don't have to understand or justify the path of another to feel peace in our own hearts. If you are stumbling with judgment within yourself, do not fear. The blessing of Venus is coming to you to help you surrender it, to help you find your way through so that you can be free now. Your guidance then is to trust your path, trust your evolution, even in the face of those around you reacting to it, possibly in fear or discomfort. Trust in the paths of others too. For in truth, there is one path, and we are all on it. You do not have to convince anyone or anything. This is not your job. Your job is to embrace your wisdom, embrace your freedom and empowerment to grow spiritually and live your life accordingly. You are becoming the bestowal of grace, something more of a goddess and a god, of a human and a sacred animal integrated as one. I love that line. You are becoming through bestowal of grace, something more of a goddess and a god, of a human and a sacred animal integrated as one. This is sacred alchemy, amplified in the star fires of Venus, who loves you as a brother, sister, and honors your soul with her blessing. Shine true, beloved, shine bright. I think that's such a beautiful message and a beautiful way to start these readings. There's a sacred honoring ritual from it. If you want it, let me know and I will send it. I'll just leave a message at the end of this video. That was a beautiful message. I'm not going to do the sacred messages just so that the readings aren't so long. But if you want it, send me a message and you'll get it. Ask and you shall receive. Okay, so now let's go and see what the El Kui Oracle deck is also saying for that beautiful message to go along with the Aries. And what I'm getting from that is really to first to step into the wholeness of who we are, and then that's what the whole energy of the awakening and the reset and tapping into a new dimension of ourselves, new consciousness, because with that comes again that integration, and what are we truly integrating? We're integrating everything that we've been, all parts of ourselves, the human, the spiritual, the animalistic. We've come into a place now that we can accept all of our past and the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and just be yourself, and trust whoever that self is that you've now discovered, and walk with that. And as we go through this new path, that we will come into challenges, new challenges, but knowing deeply knowing and being rooted that we can get through them. We've gone through the last set of challenges to get to today, and we're stronger, we're wiser, our heart is more open, we understand ourselves more. So whatever's coming in, you're going to make it through. All right. So that's a little added message from spirit. And then the Elqui, I'm just trying to figure out if I should go from the bottom or the top. I know I started from the bottom for the last one because we started with the last one and now it's time for the one on top. All right. And Iris comes out. Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite flowers. Iris, yay. So let's see what Iris is saying. Transformation, change, and enchantment. Ooh, and Iris is purple. So even though the color here is not purple on the card, but the Iris flower is a beautiful purple flower. And that's beautiful synchronicity with the Star of Venus. Yeah, so Aries, look up the Star of Venus and the Venus path. And, there's so much that Venus can teach us. And the Venus transit, I'm actually currently learning Venus shamanic astrology. So that's interesting. And also do some research on Iris. Iris is a very beautiful energy to get to know. I spent a lot of time studying the Iris energy and exploring it during 2020. Came to me in 2019. And that's the thing, like when something keeps on coming around you, then you start looking into it and searching it out, and it has so many layers. It's just a simple thing like of a flower, but it has so many layers and so much symbolism. So let's go into Aries and see what Iris, sorry, let's go into Iris and see what message that Iris has for Aries. Transformation, change, and enchantment. Beautiful. Let's see. And this one is alphabetical. So, Iris, she who changes, wears a waxing moon on her forehead and a carving snake on her arm. Both are emblems of change and transformation. The moon reminds us how we cycle from waxing to full to waning. The snake, ultimate agent of transformation, sheds its skin to live again. The snake magic reminds us that as long as we are never stagnant, we will continue to reinvent ourselves. It is the power of transformation that invites us to celebrate the enchantment of this moment. Shed skin of yesterday to cloak yourself in your new persona. Iris asks if you are ready to do this. Iris brings the message that you are in a moment of change. Felt a little something on my shoulder just now. You could choose to move into a new self or pull back on the self you were before. There is nothing static about this issue. Do not put too much weight on things as they are. Instead, Take a step back. Remind yourself of the moon cycles, as well as the turning of the seasons. If you remember all things change, you will find yourself prepared to adapt to the ever cycling world. Why am I fighting this change? How can I flow into the transformation? And what do I need to do to honor this cycle? That is a beautiful message. So to combine them too, since it's Venus and transformation and that 8 energy coming in, which is infinity, you know, and like I said, I'm doing the Venus shamanic astrology, and truly with that, Venus is now at the sacral chakra. So I would say tap into your sacral chakra, Aries. And also those questions, consider them deeply and consider what changes that you've done, not just actually what changes you've done over the last maybe 2 years, your transformation, to actually see your transformation and to welcome it. Like again, the Venus card, the Venus, if you follow the Venus transit, this Venus is morning star and she's going down, and as she's ascending she is the evening star. So right now Venus is the morning star, and while Venus is descending, she goes from the crown chakra down to the 7 chakras. But what's happening in that is she's transforming, because she's giving up her garment. She's giving up the things, or she or he, because it's androgynous in this, from this perspective. So giving up the, how do we, it's almost like, how do we lose our wholeness if we take that androgynous characteristic of Venus from Rumi's perspective? How do we give up that wholeness, and how are we separating ourselves from that wholeness? That's maybe a question that you can ask yourself. And then on the way back up, while she's the evening star, she regains all of these things chakra by chakra, right? So maybe look at your life and just see your transformation, because sometimes we don't see our transformation. We don't recognize, how have I changed over the last, since it's the number 8, let's look at it, the 2 years ago, 6 years ago, 8 years ago, 2 years ago. 2 years, and I just had to change that. Turn around, right? 2 years, 2 months ago, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, how have you changed and transformed? And with those changes, don't forget to ask, what do I want now? And is this in alignment? Because sometimes you're presented with things when we start new things, we know where we're going with what we start, but sometimes things come in and we're not really expected them, beautiful surprises, opportunities. Don't forget to ask yourself, hold on, I have intention, I have goals, I'm setting myself up for a new path, I've gotten myself to this point. Is this that is now being offered to me in alignment with what I want now? Not what I wanted 2 years ago or 2 months ago, but what I want now. And sometimes what I want 2 years or 2 months ago is still what I want now. So just, is it in alignment? And if it's not, remember to communicate. Throat chakra, sit with it for a while, and then communicate how it can work best for you, because we're in a new place. We're in a new place of thinking. We're in a new place of negotiating. We're in a new place of communicating. And every moment that comes to us is powerful. We can truly alchemize every moment. So if you like it, receive it. If you don't like it, there is an opportunity of alchemy, and you can say, hold on, now this isn't how I intended, or what I everything I want, but maybe there's a middle space there that I can get what I want out of this, and this could still be in alignment. And sometimes opportunities come in just so that you can now say and be the new person and the new version and the new chapter of your life that you're stepping into. So when those opportunities come, don't forget how hard you've been working, and make sure that everything that we're doing now is truly in alignment with the new you and everything you're transforming into. All right, I think that's it, Aries. All right, let's go on to the next one. Let's go on to the next one. Thank you, Spirit, for that beautiful message. And thank you, Iris. And definitely tap into the Iris. Iris, that is. There's actually a goddess Iris. So tap into that. Tap into that Iris energy. There's a flower Iris. Tap into all of that. Okay, so then we're going to do Taurus. I think Taurus is next. Right? This is Gemini. Aries, all things go. All right, Taurus. Taurus is next. All right, I have a little rhyme in my head for the for the astrology. Taurus, passion of the wild red mother. Ooh, what's that message gonna be about? And what did I have? I had the this is a smoky quartz crystal on top of the Taurus card. So see if this has any resonance with you, or look up to see the beautiful qualities of the smoky quartz crystal. All right. Tauruses. All right. Passion of the wild red mother. Okay, Rumi, let's see what message Rumi has for you, Taurus. Number 36, energy of 9, which is completion. Okay, so Taurus, you're wrapping something up. Now remember, completion is the new beginning. So remember, we're not dual, we're not stuck in duality anymore. We're multidimensional and we can see things from all angles and all levels. All right, so let's read it. Don't ask the conscious ones about the wine. Behold the glowing effect of it in the eyes of the drunks. I don't know which camera to look at, but says Rumi. Don't ask the conscious ones about the wine. Like they haven't drank enough of it. So go ask the drunk ones. Behold the glowing effect of it in the eyes of the drunks. I think Rumi really liked wine. All right, let's see what Rumi says. Bring me your unreasonableness, your insanity, your love without reason, and your passion that's a fire. The passion that makes you crazy and shoos all logical restraint from your mind. Leave your ordered thoughts, sensible plans, and appropriate attire at my door. Put on your animal fur and sing to me in gibberish. When my beautiful goats die, I make drums from their skins and their spirits live on in my passionate play. When my birds drop their feathers, I gather them and put them in my hair. Oh, I do that. I so do that. Come drum with me as I place feathers in your hair and we honor the spirits of my animals. Stick your tongue out and growl at those who try to tame you with guilt, shame, and fear. Do you think I give a damn for any of their silly games? Those games of reason and logic? Of course, you should do it this way. They say it makes sense. But I care not for what makes sense. I care for what brings you alive. You, oh blazing angel, are being invited by the wild red mother to participate in a dance of divine passion. You may be an activist, a poet, an advocate for justice, or a writer, content in your own world of dreams, or perhaps you are a healer, devoted to the liberation of the suffering of others and hungry to commune with ancient wisdom. Perhaps you are all of these or some other exquisite amalgam of holy energy in form. Whatever your nature, there is a passion in your heart. A fire for something more powerful than fear that can become the fuel for your life's journey. If you accept the invitation of the wild red mother, of course. It says, will you accept? Oh, yeah, there's more to your journey if you accept the invitation. This is the invitation to lay aside despair and to lay aside doubt in the capacity of the human heart. Even your frustration and impatience. It is time to quit whipping yourself and others, no matter how noble the intention behind the whip may be, and start dancing instead. Will you join her, the wild red mother, in her exuberant play? You can choose to lead through joy, to heal through love, to transform suffering into what it is meant to be. I love that. You know, a lot of us don't get that memo. It's all for a purpose and reason. You know, just go through the moments, let it teach you something, especially the hard ones, the transformation. You can choose to lead through joy, to heal through love, to transform suffering into what it is meant to be, the crucible through which ecstasy reveals itself. You do not have to analyze to stay in the throes of process or ordered stages. You can just choose this passionate path now. If you wish, you are ready. It is open to you. Will you accept? It takes a great spirit, one with much patience and much practice of studied rebellion. Let's read that again. It takes a great spirit, one with much practice of studied rebellion, to be ready to cast off the shackles of society from a place of loving defiance. Rather than fearful anger. Yeah. And to playfully say to the world, I have tasted your stale bread and underdeveloped wine and have quite enough now. Oh, this brings me so much joy to read this. Rumi speaks directly from my heart. I have tasted your stale bread and undeveloped wine and have had quite enough now. Oh, yes, I decline your offer to gorge upon such lesser fruits. I prefer to feast upon bread, hot and fresh, and wine that is mouth-filling, unctuous. I don't even know that word. That's a new word. Unctuous. Unctuous. New word. I'm going to look it up. Join me if you like. It is an abundant feast, and there is plenty for all. And you know what? With this summer solstice, we are ending Taurus season, right? And we're going into no. Where are we now? No, we've finished with Taurus. We're finished with this. These days and weeks and months are rolling through. No, we're ending Gemini and we're going into Cancer. All right, next. That's for the next card. Yeah, so let's go again. Join me if you like. It is an abundant feast and there is plenty for all. Even in the spiritually minded, there can be a driving fare, thinly veiled as devotion to the most arduous path. Perhaps for a while that serves as truth of sorts, but eventually there will come a time when smaller truths must give way to the larger ones, indeed. So the soul can truly be free to grow. Yes, passion is the bridge that leads you from a smaller truth that suffering is necessary in order to heal towards a larger and more luscious, like that, a more luscious experience of life as a divine embrace. Yes, that's so true. I could relate to that in the terms of like the weight I put on this year. And it's like, it's like you want to exactly what he just said. It's like you want that lusciousness and you want that fullness, and sometimes with the spiritual path, it's a very strict and restricting path sometimes. And really, you know, I'm glad I'm stepping away from that strict constricting paths of the spirituality, and really embracing the grandness and the lusciousness of it, you know. Yeah, and none are wrong or right. It's just it's seasonal, and sometimes we need to constrict, and sometimes we need to expand. Yeah, and my body is expanding, so I'm enjoying the lusciousness of it. Yeah, sometimes a divine lover in all enthusiasm for the sport bites you too hard and grabs you with so much desire that a bruise remains. Ooh, roomy. However, the passion behind such fervent embrace can leave you begging for more life, for more of that boundless love, even when it knocks you on the head while scrapping for you. This is possible when you give up on judgment of what is good and what is bad, on what is apparently spiritual and what is not. And when you just realize everything in your life is going to lead to love. Whether through caress or a slap, love slap, please. The divine lover is seducing you. If you can accept this, you can certainly give yourself permission to love what you love, to live how you wish to live, and to forget about holding yourself back because some choices make sense and others supposedly do not. Make choices from your heart and don't be afraid, you know, to just be you. If you are able to rise to the passion that is possible for you, you let the wild red mother consume your philosophies and doctrines. She'll feast on your religion and your plans and devour your doubts and certainties. She'll tear away your need for maps and directions. Just when you think there's nothing left, she'll grab your hands and spin with you. You'll tilt back your head and laugh so wildly with her spinning together along with the earth upon her axis. It's like getting dizzy. You know what I mean? Like you, as a child, right? We used to just spin and spin and spin and spin and spin for the dizziness. And we used to laugh on the floor, being dizzy. We didn't need to control it all. And I think that's the message Rumi is trying to say to Tauruses, you know, jump back into the dizziness of life and learn to truly enjoy that dizziness. I'm not always being in control, but holding hands with Mother Earth, you know, so I like that. Or with the wild red mother, you know, so you're also knowing that you're doing this with spirit. So it's like knowing that that team is around you, you know, and you're not doing this alone. With a daring and bold love for life that will not be quashed. That wild mother speaks to you now. You can choose passion over fear, time and time again. So I invite you to paint the whole world red with me with passionate nature. Let us laugh and change the world. This oracle comes to you with a message. It is a big cosmic yes. It is also an invitation to let go of suffering and struggle, not with regret or shame, but with gentle acknowledgement that it has had its purpose. Yes. It now has a bigger purpose, that of passion, which calls you to engage in the embrace of life with more abandon than ever before. Now is the time to let go of belief systems and needing to know anything. It is time to trust in the beating of your own heart and in the people, places, and experience that truly move you. Whether it makes sense or appears to be logical or not, the wild red mother comes to you when you are ready for her at a soul level. Your mind may think she is a thief in the night, ready to pilfer all you hold near and dear, and be utterly in terror at the prospect. But your soul will be gurgling with such anticipation of freedom, it will fill your heart with sweet love and urge you to let go. What I'm getting is this energy of truly like that death rebirth. It's like, you know, when you come to that moment when, you know, like after you get through a very grave illness, and it's like you realize that you came to death's door and then you were given the second chance, and what do you do with it? Do you just, you know, go back into your routine? Or do you realize I've been given a new lease on life and to live it fully? You know, and I think that's what the message is here for the Tauruses, to truly begin to live life fully, unapologetic, but also again in alignment with spirit, but being true to yourself and making sure that everything around you feeds into you love so that you can feel free, and you know, removing the judgments and, you know, removing of all of these densities that truly hold us back from being our true selves, because any judgment we hold for others, for ourselves, we're projecting that out into the world. So when we release and forgive and you know, work on whatever we need to work on so that we're not seeing the seeing life in a very judgmental and anger and in a place of resistance, then we truly allow more of the beauty to flow into us, and we are able to be more free, you know, and accepting of others. It says, your mind may think that she is a thief in the night, ready to pilfer all you hold near and dear, and be utterly in terror at the prospect. And that's why I think it's like that death rebirth moment, that you're truly fearing it. But when you realize that, okay, I got to accept this and I got to let this death come through. And remember, death is not always going to be physical. Death is truly you saying, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm going to be new. I'm going to let this myself emerge out of this death, rise up out of this, and allow the new thing to become. Let her have her way with you. Even if it means she crashes into you in the dark as she fumbles and drags you half asleep to go out dancing with her under the moon, wearing nothing but your animal skin and a smile. She'll soothe any bumps and bruises you receive in opening up to life with the most tender and effective of ministrations, for she is just as tender a nurse as she is a wild raging dance partner. That's cool. So, you know, you will be taking care of all of your emotions, you know, trusting that spirit will be there for you. And also too, is like we can also handle all of our emotions, you know, when you see that rage coming, you know, look at it with new eyes. I keep on looking over here. I need to look over here. Look at it with new eyes and say, you know what? I can quiet this fire. You know, it was like all of these old emotions that still, you know, come up, but the difference is now we're dealing with them in a different day. Again, that word alchemy. We're truly able to now alchemize, and we have to go through these moments and these seasons like this, the red passion of the wild red mother, you know, so that we can understand ourselves more and understand life more and release all of those judgments we're holding. This oracle also brings you guidance. You have divine permission to do something ridiculous. I love it. Be it ridiculous in your own mind for your age or career path, or some identity or version of yourself you or another hold. The more ridiculous or inappropriate it seems, the more it moves you from your heart. Without rhyme or reason, the better. This is not about hurting people or behaving without a moral code, which is very important. Yeah, like when we say like you can do anything you want, it's like truly after you kind of come into a truly good place and have a sense of integrity and and respect for everybody around you, so that you're not harming yourself and you're not harming others, you know. Yeah, so that's important as we go through all of this transformation and stuff. Like when you truly hear people say, you know, you can live the world that you want, and your, you know, and your dreams and everything you want can come through. It's like, you know, after you clear out all this stuff, because some, if we're not coming from a balanced, centered place, some of the things we're wishing and wanting is not for, it's good for us, but it's not good for our communities, our families, our friends. And not that we have to do things for them, but living again the 666 energy, living a very harmonious life with community, yourself, with spirit, with nature, with animals. You know, it's a harmonious economies, harmonious communities, in balance with each other, not fighting or resisting, you know, or contradicting, or holding one down so that the other one can rise up, you know. So it's important that um, our intentions are pure and balanced, not just for yourself, but for others as well. Very important step along the way, and also to maintain, and just in life, you know, that what we're doing just doesn't just serve us, but it serves the wider community as well in an empowering way. Yeah. It is not about childish indulgence or questionable justification for letting the ego misbehave. Rumi says it better than me. It is not about the ego at all. The wild red mother eats ego for breakfast. This guidance is about listening to the truth of your heart and allowing your soul to throb with aliveness, making that more important than any restriction, opinion, judgment, or fear of the mind, yours or that of others, could summon. Yeah, Taurus, big leaps facing and over the affairs. You know, when you decide to take that jump, we gotta face in that direction of where we're jumping, and then we gotta do it. So spirit is giving you that love and support, so that as you transform and really rebirth yourself through the fires of life, transformation, the wild red mother, that you're able to do it, you know, passionately too, and understanding, truly understanding, because it's like, you know, it's like being in the fire of your own life, which is this transformation, and not thinking that I'm in hell being punished, but rather, okay, this is to transform me and to make my life better. And we got to step up to that. A lot of the times we just have to step up. It's no time for the pity party, you know, poor me, you know, nah. It's time to change. Time to change. And let's see what other beautiful energy is coming out for you, Taurus, to help you transform and dance through the fire, like the fire dancer. Oh yeah, that's what came to mind just now. Fire dancing, the joy. Yeah, it's like, again, this transformation. We know fire is transformation, but we can dance. We can be a fire dancer. So let's see what card spirit has. Elise, she who grants wishes. Yes, I love it. Elise, wish, desires, and hopes. So yeah, during this moment of the wild red mother, the passion, where, you know, you're giving that second opportunity to make changes, make your wishes again, like step into your future, Taurus, make those wishes, and then do the aligned actions to get you where you need to go. And don't worry about the crowd. I think that's the big thing. Don't worry about the crowd. Don't worry about who doesn't accept you, because now you got to do it for yourself. You got to do it for the survival of your whole self. You're no longer responding to the idea of your lesser self and the limiting beliefs, because that's what you're letting burn. That's what you're transforming out of. That's what your rebirth. This is your rebirthing season. So, start to speak into your wishes and what you want, and truly believe that. And again, remember, what we want, we can get what we want, but the purer and the bigger our wishes are, truly, the more universe is like, yeah, let's go help them do that. But so we truly have to speak our wishes into being, and our desires and our hopes. Alice, let's see what she has to say. Alice, she who grants wishes, dances among the stars in purple and gold. Didn't I say fire dancing? But it's purple and gold. Me and Rumi's favorite color. Oh, y'all can see it. Purple and gold. Purple and gold. Her eyes gaze toward to catch all wishes being made. While she can't acknowledge every wish, she waits for the ones that truly touch her heart. The wand she carries displays the bright light of hope we all send up. This is her energy, her gift, what motivates her to continue her dance and to hold her attitude of listening. I had a dream last night. And in that dream, I can't remember all the details, but I remember saying to the person or the people in the room, I'm listening. Because listening is a very powerful power. It's a very empowering activity as well as energy to truly say, you know what, I'm going to listen. Because in listening, we're receiving information, we're receiving wisdom, we're receiving divine wisdom, and, we're receiving knowledge, wisdom, information, all of that, So it's so important to be open to listening so that you can get something out of what's coming into you, what's being sent to you through words and sound. Listening is very important. Elise tells you to define what you want. What are your wishes? What is your heart's desires? Do not answer too quickly. Sometimes we wish for a horse when what we truly desire is movement. I love that. Your duty to yourself is to dig deeply into your own wants and needs. Yeah. Heed the proverb, be careful what you wish for. You may get it. So, she who grants wishes requires you to apply discretion before you say what it is you think you want. Alice, goal is not to withhold things from you. She merely hopes you will not waste the gift of a wish today. This card brings work, but also fulfillment. The questions. What is the underlying reason for my heart's desire? Yeah. What am I willing to do to have my wishes fulfilled? Listen, that's a deep question right there, because sometimes that's when we go into the wrong direction. We're like, nah, I gotta have this now. So, and this is the only way. So let me just do it this way. What are you willing to do or to become in order to get what you were trying to achieve, your wish? And that could be in a dense place or in a very lighted place, because sometimes we have to step up in order to get what we want and do some changes, and sometimes we have to release, to get what we want, so just remember, just make sure you're not selling yourself out. And I think that's the main message, no judgment, but don't sell yourself out in exchange for getting something, that was going to come to you anyway without that whole selling out process. And the last one is, where can I use more hope in my life? Beautiful questions, deep questions. Again, you're coming out of this death rebirth moment, and really realizing, hey, life is fragile. And the words I speak are important. The actions I do are important. The people who are around me are important. That discernment, how am I using my energy? How am I sharing my time with, all of that. And especially those words you want. Remember, they said, be careful for what you wish for. You just might get it. Actually had thought about this weekend, and it's interesting because it's Taurus energy, so I must release it. I must release this message, and we're dealing with love, and this is the whole reason why I said, let me start doing relationship and love readings, because I've learned so much in love. So yeah, let me give you the lesson that I've observed and learned throughout my life. I've really been I've had two significant relationships with Tauruses. And I've observed that the words that they were speaking came true. But unfortunately, they weren't, positive speeches, but they both ended up manifesting their worst fears. And it wasn't until this weekend that I was like, you know what? It happened with both of them. And it's so interesting. It's the power of our words. There's one that said, they just always said to me, I know I'm just going to end up in jail. True story. I know I'm going to end up in jail. I know I'm going to end up in jail. They're in jail now. The other one would say to me, I need someone to take care of me. I got to make sure I have someone that's going to take care of me. And now they need somebody to take care of them. Sometimes what we wish for comes. And I thought, well, perhaps the last one should have said, I wish to be healthy and strong so that I don't ever need anybody to take care of me, that I'll always be able to take care of myself. And maybe that would have manifested. And perhaps the first one should have said, I really don't want to ever end up in jail or prison. And that a path shows up that frees me from the direction that I think my life is going to end up in, I just want to share that because it's true. It's my truth. It's what I've observed two Tauruses do. Speak into their future that took them through a path that now they will have to dance with the wild red earth to truly transform their own and come into their own rebirthing, So watch your words, Taurus, and always speak into your future. Project positivity into your future, always, because you're very powerful people. But words of power will always serve you better. All right, let's go on to the Geminis. That was a deep message. Maybe the smoky quartz, clear out so that the words that you're speaking are so powerful and they serve you better, your now and your future. All right, let's go into Gemini. Let's see what the Gemini card is. I might have to put this video on pause. Yeah, let's see what the Gemini card is. Well, this will be 3, and then I guess I'll do 3, 4 videos. So this will have the Aries, the Taurus, and the Gemini. All right, let's look at Gemini. Ooh, Merciful Mother Jamal. Oh, listen, this is a new deck. I do not know these cards, and even the stuff that come out, I'm pleasantly being surprised with. So let's jump into it. I love all the colors. That's what I'm seeing. All of the colors, the different colors. Yes. And it's number 44. Oh, that's a good sign. So Gemini 44, 4 plus 4 is 8, that infinity again, Gemini 2, the twins, right? Let's see what Merciful Mother Jamal has for Geminis. What message? All right, and the amethyst. Well, this is actually one of my newest crystals, and it's a combination of just like all of these colors on this card, I guess, not just one thing, but coming through with that integration of many colors, right? Integration of ourselves. So this is not rose quartz. This is amethyst at the top. This is red jasper around it, and at the bottom is some beautiful smoky quartz. I absolutely love it. It's one of my newest babies. All right, so let's look into Merciful Mother Jamal. Let's see what message she has for us. Number 44. Okay. All right. Oh, sudden resurrection. Oh, countless blessings. Oh, blazing fire. In the jungle of thoughts, today you arrive with laughter to break open the jail. RUMI. You, blazing angel, capable of so much. You invoke the testing hand of life. Why not when you cannot fail? Yet in your sweet surrender, how can the great beloved not respond in kind and offer you solace, comfort, and mercy? For not all success must be hard won. And that truly is the mother energy, right? Like that mother energy is very comforting and nurturing, and just says, like, I won't judge you, and it's important for us to know that that's truly the energy that we are always offered. And if we don't get it from our maternal mothers, we have it from our earthly mother, and we have it from the universe, Father God, Mother Earth. We have it from our ancestors, from the spirits around us. Sometimes humans are still in a very judgmental space, and we just can't get from another human truly what it is that we're supposed to find within ourselves. And when we trust in the nature and the love of the universe, you don't have to receive that energy from anybody else. You can truly feel it through that relationship that you're having with everything around you and within you, that wholeness of life. Can you imagine this? The sweet face of the all-powerful. It shines upon you as the love emanating from the Holy Mother's eyes, the golden radiance of her body, and the gentleness of her touch. This is your birthright now, your divine inheritance, the mercy of the all-merciful. Let it soften the hard edges of your life and your being, and bring to you the grace that is deserved. And I think that's hard for a lot of people to actually step into their own grace. They're again waiting for someone to give it to them, as opposed to knowing that it's an inheritance and nobody has to give you that, but you actually accept it and just step into it for yourself. This oracle brings you a message. There is a shift taking place now in a matter of great importance to you. From Jalal to Jamal, from justice to mercy. So Jamal means mercy. Yeah, okay. This is your path, your destiny, and your blessing, now opening up before you. It may be a particular matter. However, it likely includes your entire life orientation. Just a small thing, your entire life. You are being granted refuge, respite, and shelter from the storms of struggle and doubt, and being given a divine sanctuary of safe harbor. You shall find that the unraveling of the struggle and pain now happens through tenderness and a gentler approach. You are also being asked to take stock of your own thoughts and attitudes. Having to be tough and play hardball in the past has served its purpose, yet this oracle comes to you with guidance to become softer in your way and your attitude. Can you gently but firmly place to one side the judge within, the one who keeps score and demands retribution, an eye for an eye, the exponent of absolute justice? Can you invite instead the one who gentles the aggressive lord within and allows him to bow before the great lady who loves, is wise, and who steadies the workings of the world with the softest of touches? Let's read that again. Can you gently but firmly place to one side the judge within, the one who keeps score and demands retribution, an eye for an eye, the exponent of absolute justice? That would be Jalal. Yeah. Can you invite instead the one who gentles the aggressive lord within and allows him to bow before the great lady who loves, is wise, and who steadies the workings of the world with the softest of touches? And that would be mercy. So it's like, do you want justice or do you want mercy? And which one really serves us better sometimes? I think that's like a deep question, because especially during this awakening and reset stuff, it's like, oh, we want retribution. We want the wrong to be righted. And and it's like, and that's justice, but it's also that question, well, do I want that, or do I want everything just to be peaceful and uplifted? And do I have to go through, does one person's pain bring me to peace? I think that's what I'm trying to say. Does another's pain and punishment bring peace and joy to me? I think that's the deeper question, because truly that's kind of like what justice is, for its goodness and its badness. That's truly what it is. It's like, okay, I've suffered, or you caused me pain, so now you must pay, and you must feel pain too. You must feel my pain because I had pain. And I don't know if the world is going to be a pretty place if that continues forever. Always looking for somebody else's pain to be the solace to your heart, So something for all of us to think about deeply. Don't fear that if you suddenly give yourself a break, all your discipline, hardness, toughness, and suffering will go to waste. No, all things provide learning and serve divine purpose. Yeah. But now there is no reason to continue in that way. It is time to learn another way. You are strong enough now to become gentler. Yeah, because sometimes it's like we think that we will be well when the other person pays for hurting us, but really that means we've missed the whole point, that what we actually went through, yeah, it was painful, but there was a purpose for our pain. So you don't need to have retribution, because you've learned why you went through that painful experience. If there is a foe or a fight in your life, ask for the Mother of Mercy to bless it into resolution. If you have also known the hand of Fatima, you are being told that this resolution is already on its way. You are being told now that you can stand your ground and remain in your strength without having to become aggressive or hard. You have more power than you realize, and it is in your being. It is not in your ability to control others or manipulate situations. For such actions are unworthy of a being of your magnitude and are unnecessary for your success. So, Geminis, if you felt like you needed to truly manipulate or control situations as we go into the solstice and, enjoy the next 6 months, try to lose some of that nature of yourself to control and manipulate and allow yourself to trust that things will happen without you having to do that. You're also being given the message that your prayers are powerful. Although action in the world is a part of your soul purpose and plan, when you pray, have conviction that your prayers are real and heard and are responded to by the great universal heart. So pray carefully and thoughtfully. Be present and speak as if you were speaking to your dearest, oldest, and most influential and powerful friend. Because, of course, that is exactly what you are doing. Pray from the heart and trust in the power of your prayers. There is no limit to what you can pray about, nothing too unspiritual or unworthy, nothing. So pray. And I was feeling this, the energy of unworthiness, and really trusting that you will get what you want, Gemini. But maybe it's your lack of that true trust and feeling worthy, and that you will not be accepted in your true self. So there's this growth that's definitely needed for you to truly be able, like, what is it going to be required for me to trust, so that I don't have to control, to be free and show myself fully, and be rooted in myself and who I am and my worthiness, so that I don't feel the need to manipulate and hide. This oracle brings you the message that the great power of compassion is reaching for you, that it wants to help you, but is waiting for you to ask. So ask, and then you shall receive. That's beautiful. Because I forgot to say this with the Taurus one, but each one has a sacred honoring ritual. So if anybody wants it, I said on the Aries one, just leave me a note, ask, and you shall receive, and I'll make sure that you get it. So this message, the merciful mother of Jamal, Gemini, is really encouraging your heart to step into grace and step into mercy and trust that you can speak from your heart and be open and honest and trusting and not having to control every layer of your life, so that you're safe. Trust is a little more trust is needed. So let's see what El Qui has for you, because this has the deep questions. So let's see what's going to go along with that trust and trusting of the Mother Nature. And Banolaka, justice, fierce commitment, she who battles. Whoa, fight for yourself, Gemini. Fight the good fight. Fight the good fight, but you're fighting for you. You're fighting to save your soul. So it's like you're fighting the demons within you that are telling you that you won't have the mercy and the grace and everything that you're asking for. Geminis are duality, 2, 3, 4, all of that. And sometimes those voices are not guiding them. It's like showing the opposite, it's this yin yang relationship. So sometimes that duality within you, or multidimensionality, let's say that, because I think multidimensionality, sometimes that multidimensionality within the Gemini needs to be given some structure and a sound voice. So let's see what Abanolaka is saying to the multidimensional Geminis, a voice of reason and trust, right? Because we want to walk through these moments knowing that, hey, I don't have to control it and I don't have to be manipulating. I can truly trust and allow, and I'm worthy. So it's going to come to me. I don't have to play games. No games. No more games, Gemini. No more games. All right. So, yeah, Abonalaka is the referee. All right, let's see what the message is here. When Abonalaka, she who battles, appears, you would do well to gird your loins. She ain't coming for playing. Abonalaka is the Zulu word for fierce. She is not one to take the easy way out. Her preference is a dead eye stare straight into the depths of what challenges her. And again, you see, no more hiding behind the games of manipulation and control. Face it, face everything, you know? Her bronze armor and war ribbons match her ferocious gaze. Yet at the same time, she wears a soft white dress that billows in the breeze, and she holds her sword back. Well, my dress isn't billowing, but it's white. As fierce as Abonolaka is, she is equally patient. And knows sometimes the best strategy is to fight a battle with words, not swords, restraint, not aggression. And sometimes we need to speak and communicate. And sometimes, Geminis have a little challenge with that communication and really allowing those words to come out. So in this new phase, in this next 6 months, maybe Abunalaka will help you be fierce so that you can speak and communicate your words. That throat chakra. Blue comes to mind, Geminis. Tap into your throat chakra and allow that expansion. Abunalaka is here to help you face your current challenges. If you decide to stand and fight, remember her unwavering focus and complete commitment. And Archangel Michael, he carries his sword, right? And again, it's that blue energy, and he carries his sword. It's our will, it's our words, it's speaking, truly communicating and speaking everything that we want into existence. So it's that same energy. And it's our divine will. Remember, what we speak becomes. So Abinaka knows if she is first victorious in her heart, she cannot be beaten. Trusting our heart is very important, and speaking from our heart is also very empowering. If you decide to stand and fight, remember her unwavering focus and complete commitment. Abilaka knows if she is first victorious in her heart, she cannot be beaten. But there is a great saying, you do not have to attend every argument to which you are invited. You are not diminished by refusing to do battle. Often it takes greater strength to lay down your sword. By doing so, you may learn something that changes the entire scene. Your enemy may turn out to be a friend or a teacher rather than a taker. Whichever path you choose, stay fiercely committed to your decision. Your questions, Gemini. What is the battle at hand that I must take on? How would I feel if I refuse this particular fight? And what's really behind this conflict? Deep questions for you to ponder, Gemini. And yeah, it's like trusting, definitely this energy of trusting the benevolence of life on earth, and that is within you and around you, trusting that things work out for the better. And with that trust, as well as acceptance of self, we don't have to control everything as much. And then when Ambalaka comes in, it's like You know, you can use that energy to speak and communicate and be fierce, but there's also times when we can be silent. So have that balance between knowing when to speak and knowing when not to say anything. Because sometimes we think, well, I'm just not going to say anything, and we stay in that mode. And that becomes a coping skill that is not really healthy and doesn't really serve anybody, you know, because what needs to, sometimes things just need to be said so that things can progress, you know? So finding that balance between knowing when to speak up for yourself and when to be silent. Then you have to figure that one out for yourself, and those moments arise. All right, Gemini, I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, so this is the first half of the RUMI table, and we will do the other three, which will be Cancer, Leo, and Virgo in a separate video. All right. Let's see. Hold on. I didn't want to stop the video. I wanted to stop recording. All right, let's stop recording.